Hey guys, welcome back to House Parties. I'm Braylon, and if you can't tell, we're in a new location. Shelby, tell the squad where we're at.
Welcome to the girl office, guys. Can you tell? It's a little pink in here. It's a little fun. I hope when you see this space, you think, yeah, that's where Shelby and Braylon work.
Yeah. Do you see their babies?
And we are back for another week of By Faith, walking through Hebrews 11, looking at people who trusted God even when it didn't make sense.
Okay. And this week we're talking about Rahab, which is honestly one of the most unexpected names in this whole chapter.
Yeah, Rahab wasn't a warrior or a prophet or even an Israelite. She was known as Rahab the prostitute, but by faith, God completely rewrote her story.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because she went from being known as her worldly label to now being a part of like Jesus's family lineage. So it's just definitely a redemption on a whole nother level.
So longtime Chaos family, famous person, Mark Neal taught on Sunday for the adults. You know, he's old news to us, but it's exciting for them. Just kidding. We love Mark. And his first point was that faith begins with hearing the truth. And so that's where Rahab's story starts too. She heard what Jesus was doing, things like splitting the sea and rescuing his people.
And that's where her faith began as well, not with a perfect background or religious background at all. It was just with hearing the truth and believing it.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder what truth we've heard, but we haven't actually let sink into our hearts yet.
Exactly. And so maybe for some of us, we've heard like God loves you. And that's just a little hard to believe because how do we know? I mean, we know because obviously he sent his one and only son to die for us. And like, he's just that guy. So like once we get in the word, we understand. But just like first time concept, it's hard to understand. And so I know for me, whenever I'm struggling or going through something, it's just hard to believe that like God is with me through that sometimes because I don't always feel his presence, but I know that, diving into the word and in prayer, eventually I'm like, okay, he's here, but it's just not always the automatic response that like.
Yeah, so faith starts with hearing the truth, but it doesn't stop there.
So Rahab didn't just hear the truth, she acted on it. She hid the spies, risking her life. Now that's real faith.
James 2:17 says faith without works is dead. And so if you believe in God but you don't obey him, that's just good intentions. That's not faith.
That's pretty fire because it's like we always say we have good intentions. Like I'm going to start reading my Bible. I'm going to invite my friend to church. I'm going to forgive that person. But intention's not moving walls. That's not moving the walls.
Right. Faith moves when we move. So what's an area in your life where God's calling you to act instead of just intend?
All right. So one thing that I can say I acted on and was like obedient and that was a little scary and I didn't feel ready for is definitely my internship. Like I'm here right now. I'm Shelby's intern right now. But I was just scared because that's a big thing. Like this is ultimately like I'm wanting to work in ministry and I'm just a 17-year-old girl. I love Jesus. I love all these things, but I don't feel like I'm ready for it. And so I feel like God had opened the opportunity for me and I felt bad because I was like doubting God by just being tempted not to do it. And so ultimately, whenever I stepped into that, it's just been so cool to see how it's played out. And now I get to make this video with Shelby right now for you guys. And I'm learning so many cool things. So being obedient in your faith is so cool and so fun and important to do.
Rahab's story shows us that God doesn't just forgive your past, he redefines your future.
Yeah, she went from Rahab the prostitute to Rahab the ancestor of Jesus. So, I mean, that's definitely a plot twist. And that's still true. God's not in the rescue business. He's in the transformation business.
So the question is, what label do you need to let God redefine?
Rahab had a moment hanging that red cord outside her window that took courage and faith.
That was her I'm trusting you, God moment. What's your Rahab moment? What step of faith is God calling you to take?
Because faith doesn't just believe in God, it believes God. Take him at his word.
And when you do, he can take your past, your labels, your fears, and completely rewrite your story.
Okay, guys, y'all go enjoy small group, have good conversations, and we'll see you next week. Love you.